My name is Jonathan Horstman. I play synths and guitar and vocals in a band called Urban Heat. So initially, it was longer. It was Urban Heat Island Effect, which is a global warming phenomenon where urban centers are like 10 degrees hotter than rural areas. And thought that was really interesting. I wanted to call attention to that. Some of the first songs that I was writing were kind of about global warming and stuff. And I thought that people were much more familiar with the term than they are. So marquees were getting all the words mixed up, and it was like, let's just shorten it to Urban Heat. Yeah. I always say that we exist at the intersection of like synth pop, post-punk, and dark wave. Because songs kind of, they range, right? But they kind of stay in that sort of sphere. The new record has some like post-rock sort of stuff, which is really fun, but I think the heart of what we do is just synthesizer-based electronic music, which obviously could mean a lot of things. The way I describe it to my mom is if you took Depeche Mode, Joy Division, Nine Inch Nails, but then also Cyndi Lauper, and like Tears for Fears, you know? So it's like very like 80s sort of thing, but it also, I think that's sort of taking the easy road to say that it's 80s music, because it's very much not as well, you know.
I'm joined by Councilmember Natasha Harper Madison so that I can introduce Urban Heat. Austin, of course, everybody knows, Austin is known as the live music capital of the world, and I would venture to say that Urban Heat is one of our greatest exports. The band formed only 5 years ago when it was the brainchild of singer and multi-instrumentalist Jonathan Horstman, has quickly become known for their very fiery live shows and infectious dark wave anthems that harken back to the 80s with a modern sensibility. Powered by the magnetic Horstman's melodic baritone vocals and the pummeling rhythm section of Kevin Knockin and Paxel Foley, Urban Heat have won over fans show by show by show. Appearances at major California festivals like Cruel World and Darker Waves saw Urban Heat play to their biggest audiences yet, and their set pointed out as one of the best of the day. Right here at home, Urban Heat has long been the talk of South by Southwest and graced the stage of the Austin City Limits Festival. Now, with The Tower, we see the band at their absolute peak. Songs like the arena-ready 7 Safe Places and the intricately steady Take It to Your Grave show the band's sonic versatility. The latter, which best exemplifies the majority of the record, is about feelings of unworthiness and fears of self-sabotage. Introspectiveness dots Horstman's lyrics, driving home its power and relatability. With a headlining show at Los Angeles' famed El Rey Theater, a North American tour, a fall European tour with Molchat Doma that's already under their belt, Urban Heat is ready to show the world that anyone who has seen them already, what anyone is that has seen them already really knows. They're a band that is going to dominate the airwaves for years to come. Together with Councilmember Harper Madison, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Urban Heat.
Sacrifice your masters, but savor not the thrill. Transform to an idea you cannot kill, an idea you cannot kill. Sacrifice your masters, but savor not not the thrill. Transform to an idea. An idea you cannot kill. 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 Sacrifice your master. Savor not the thrill. Transform to an idea. An idea you cannot kill. 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 An idea you cannot.
Ladies and gentlemen, Urban Heat. What I want to do now is ask all three of you to come up here, be with us for a second. Why don't you step up here? Your microphone's too high for me. I got one set up here. Y'all come up here. Why don't you hold that? And I'm joined by Councilmember Harper Madison. I want to read this proclamation. Be it known that whereas the city of Austin, Texas is blessed with many creative musicians whose talent extends to virtually every musical genre, and whereas our music scene thrives because Austin audiences support good music that's produced by legends, our local favorites, and newcomers alike, and we are pleased to showcase and support our local artists. Now, therefore, I, Kirk Watson, on behalf of the entire City Council, as mayor of the live music capital of the world, Austin, Texas, do hereby proclaim December 12th, 2024 as Urban Heat Day in Austin.
So the song we did today was called Savor Not the Thrill. I just wanted this really percussive, sort of repetitive intro sort of thing, which could have gone sort of anywhere. And sonically, it's one where I didn't feel like the record had a really strong dark wave sort of heart in it, and so I wanted to do something kind of like okay, like, you want me to ride some dark wave? Like, hold my beer. You know, it was like okay, how can we get this to be, while not necessarily following a pop structure, I wanted something that had a hook, but was less accessible. And lyrically, it's a little intense. I think it's about people finding their own way. And the refrain is, you know, be honest, you're waiting for someone to give you permission. I think that there are groundswell movements that can happen, which always, they kind of take a spark to kind of make real change happen. And that spark can give people permission to like, oh, okay, like, I'm not the only person who feels like this. Oh, okay, like, we can do this together. So it's about taking ownership of your own sort of destiny and the outcomes. If I had any advice for anyone, on one hand, the old man in me is like, don't, right? I'm like, find other outlets that will support you and your family, and then do music for fun and see where it can take you. But if you insist on being a hard-headed donkey of an artist who's gonna make this happen, then you have to have, one, an unrealistic amount of faith in yourself and your ability to accomplish what you're setting out to do. And two, you have to find ways, like social media, to connect with your audience that skips over the middleman, because there'll be so many people who will promise you so many things. Don't trust anyone who wanted to be an artist and decided not to be, and now is trying to help artists. Don't. Because if you get to the point where they can actually help you, you'll seek them out, because you'll need them. If they're seeking you out, just, be very, very, very wary, because there are a lot of snakes in the grass. Because if you're an artist and you're passionate and you're just wide-eyed and you just want to get out there and do the thing, there's a lot of people who are down to take advantage of you, who are down to take your money, and it'll burn you. Getting burned, you only have so many times that you'll get burned, and you just won't do it. So figure out ways amongst your friends and your family that you can make this happen on your own. I want anybody who's watching this or listening to this to know two things. One, like, if you're struggling with depression, you're struggling with substance abuse, one, you are not alone. You're absolutely not alone. And believe me, you are not alone. And it's okay to seek out help. Call someone, anyone, like, if you need to, just call. And then two, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with the world.